Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and today we are going to go back to the basics and back to VFR flying. It's been a very long time since we've actually done that here on the channel, so I think it's only right that with our brand new sponsor, SayIntentionsAI, who as the only AI ATC add-on not only support IFR traffic but also VFR traffic, we are definitely going to do one flight here. We are going to depart from Yo Airline's lovely Düsseldorf scenery, which is the first Düsseldorf that actually has a proper general aviation terminal over here. So whether it is with your DA40 or whether it is with some private jet, this is an absolutely wonderful area to depart from. And that's one of those things I just absolutely love about Yo Airline's airports. He doesn't just pay attention to the parts that you commonly see as an IFR pilot, but he covers the parts that you would see in general aviation, in cargo operations, and more. So really, really good. Also, the Chaos DA40 is just an awesome airplane. I don't think we need to say any more than that. It is just awesome. So let's experience how well Düsseldorf is going to be covered VFR in SayIntentions in today's flight. And for that, we're going to take a seat in our DA40 over here. So first things first, we are going to close that canopy down here, and then we are going to turn on the electrical power. And as soon as our G1000 is powered up, we are going to head right over into our checklists down here, and that's going to tell us exactly what to do. So even though I haven't flown the aircraft in a little while, I am definitely interested in how this is going to go. So let's go to the groups, and we're going to go into the normal operating procedures down here. Checklist before engine start. And that's how we're going to start. So electric master is checked on, rudder pedals are adjusted, passengers instructed, seatbelts fastened, adjustable back rails upright, rear door is closed and latched, front canopy is actually already fully closed. So fuel quantity, we have almost the same, maybe a little bit more on the left side here. So fuel selector onto the fullest tank, that's going to be the left tank for us today. And then on the system page, we are going to check the fuel quantity and the total time in service. So let's go to engine, and indeed it's 15 gallons on each side. Let's go ahead and reset the fuel up here, and then we can just decrease that quantity all the way to 30 gallons on board. Alright, total time in service 1.1, that's just about fine. So all that good stuff is noted. And then anti-collision light is coming on, propeller area is checked clear, and with that we have completed the before start checklist. Alright, very good. So
system test.
With that done, let's go ahead and turn on the avionics master real quick, because we do need to grab the ATIS and get a startup clearance here. So ATIS is 123.78.
N 2.6 QNH 1016. Density altitude 300 feet. Transition level 65. Arriving runways 05 right, 05 left. Departing runway 05 right. Advise on initial contact, you have information Oscar.
Okay, information Oscar
Düsseldorf
is
Airport.
on board.
Information Oscar.
Then let's go ahead and quickly
18500.
find our delivery
Wind
frequency.
335 at 9er.
I did happen to know the
Cab
ATIS
okay.
by heart, but
Temperature 17.
delivery, let's see, 1 to 1.78.
QNH 1016. Density altitude 300 feet.
Düsseldorf delivery, hello, Delta Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel, information November, request startup VFR via November.
Delta Foxtrot Hotel, QNH 1016. Runway 5 left is in use. After departure, proceed direct to November at 2000 feet or below.
Delta Foxtrot Hotel, runway 5 left in use. After departure, proceed direct November, altitude 2000 feet or below. Okay, so our startup clearance is given, then let's go ahead, turn the avionic master back off again and commence our engine start. So fuel pump is coming on, throttle slightly open down here, then let's bring the mixture up into ridge, waiting for fuel flow, 1, 2, 3, and we turn that off again. Alright, engine start. And here we go. Alright, 900 RPMs are good. We do have oil pressure, we do have some amps, and we have the volts as well. Looking good. Excellent, so back into the checklist then. Okay, so oil pressure is checked, fuel selector switch tanks. Okay, pitot heat on, amps are checked, and pitot heat off. Avionic master on, so FMS setup, let's do that real quick. So we are going to depart Düsseldorf, which is Echo Delta Delta Lima, and our destination today is going to be just a very short hop over to Dinslaken, which is Echo Delta Lima Delta. Alright, cool. We don't need any runways for either, so that's all we need in here. So back into the checklist. Okay, FMS setup completed, autopilot test completed, then floodlights. Well, they're probably still a little bit too bright outside, but they are checked and off. Position lights are on, flaps, full travel, then takeoff. So let's see that. Flaps are pull down and back into the takeoff position. Looking good. Altimeter set and compare. So we have 1016 reading 120. That's looking good. Okay, so transponder. That's on 7000 and on. And park and brake to go. So let's go ahead and call ground. That's gonna be 121.605 as far as I remember. 121.68 or 121.605. Let's try 121.68 here. Düsseldorf Ground, hello, Delta Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel, request taxi. Say intention tells me no audio from microphone. Okay, well, we'll try that again. Düsseldorf Ground, Delta Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel, request taxi.
Delta Foxtrot Hotel, taxi to runway 5 left via Hotel Golf Lima 9er, cross runway 05 right at your discretion.
Delta Foxtrot Hotel, taxi holding point 05 left via Hotel Golf Lima 9er, cross 05 right at our discretion. Okay, so Golf is the one going over here, then Hotel to the right, Lima 9er, and we already have crossing clearance for runway 5 right. Good, so brakes are released, taxi light is on, then let's go. So hotel is off to the right. I just really love the level of detail that we've got here at the General Aviation apron. That's something you really don't find in many sceneries. Okay, so that's hotel, and then Lima 9er to the left. Alrighty, so then we are pretty much straight on track. We are clear to cross runway 05 right. Now, on a small side note over here, normally I would expect departure from 05 right, not 05 left. Not sure why they do it this way. I guess because 5 left is closer to November, but that's something I'm going to raise with the SayIntentions developers here, because that's something that seems a little bit odd. Nothing coming from the right or the left. We are clear to cross runway 5 left, which is, clear to cross runway 5 right, which is immediately over here. So I will keep the speed up over here. Clear to cross. Clear on the approach. Could probably just have requested runway 5 right for departure as well, but I just want to give SayIntentions the chance to do things the way they want me to do it, because I did figure one thing, that's occasionally when you request to do something different than the program originally intended, many times it goes absolutely well, but sometimes you can confuse it a little bit. I do of course report all those cases to the developers, but it's just something to be aware of, and I just want to give it a chance here. Okay, so let's slightly turn it away from the center line so that we don't endanger anyone with our run-up over here. And then park and brake is set. Let's go into the checklist. Oh, no emergencies. Group. Normal operating procedures and B for takeoff check. Okay, so park and brake is set, seatbelts are fastened, adjustable back brace upright, rear door closed and latched, front canopy is closed and latched, door warning light is off, engine instruments, well, the oil temp is still a little bit low, the rest is in the green range, circuit breakers are checked, mixture is rich. Then let's start with our run-up, so throttle 2000 RPMs. Here we go, throttle at 2000, then prop control, cycle 3 times, then high. So that's number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, so magnetos, maximum 175 drop and 50 difference between the two, so let's start with the right magneto. Dropping by about 110, perfect, back to both. Checking the left magneto. Dropping by 70. That's within all limits and checked. Circuit breakers and voltage. All in. Rechecked, throttle idle. And the engine is surviving. The alternator is going out, that's okay. Then let's add a couple RPMs again. Around about 1000 should be good. Here we go. Okay, so electric elevator trim is checked in both directions. So flaps checked at takeoff, flight controls checked free, fuel selector, so they're pretty much equal, we'll stay on the left tank. Alright, excellent. The next is when cleared for lineup. Delta Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel, ready for departure.
Delta Foxtrot Hotel, you're on ground frequency. Contact tower for departure clearance.
Bye-bye. Yeah, the typical SayIntentions thing where it expects you to contact tower without handoff. You normally get it when you are close enough to the runway. I don't know why it doesn't recognize it here, but definitely something that I put onto their agenda to fix. Düsseldorf Tower, Delta Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel, ready for departure.
Delta
departure, Echo Lima Foxtrot, Hotel, Düsseldorf Tower, runway 05 left, winds 345 at 9er, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 05 left, cleared for takeoff, Delta Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel. Okay, when cleared for lineup, electric fuel pump on, pitot heat on, transponder is on, and parking brake released. Okay, here we go. So during lineup, landing lights on, then approach sector is clear, and the runway is most definitely 05 left. Okay, so that's our checklist complete. Then let's go right back into the overview and into the map. And then left turn to November is what we had already gotten. So, timing. And takeoff. Power set. Rotate. So, pitch 7.5. Establishing nicely in the climb. Positive rate. So, maintaining VY for the time being, that's 68 in here. And we are 400 above the ground. Let's put the power to 25. Here we go, 25 and 25, flaps up, fuel pump off and lights off. Okay, so starting the left-hand turn towards November, which is located right about here. So 75 knots en route climb speed, looks good to me. 1,000 to go. Alrighty, that's looking very good. Then let's quickly do while going into the emergency checklist. We don't want that. Group. Normal operating procedures. Climb to cruise check. Alright, so flaps checked, up electric, fuel pump is checked, off landing light checked off, climb to cruise check complete. So, I wish we could see a little bit more, but this is looking pretty good. November is one of those bridges that you'll find up there. It's a railway bridge going right across the River Rhine. I'll show you the departure chart here in a moment. Let's just make it up to cruise level, level off over there, and then from that point on we can continue with our flight, which is really just a short one, about 15 minutes, but it's one that I've done a lot in the real world, and I just totally love this route. I don't want to know how many flight hours I spent flying between these two airports. Okay, perfect. So we are at cruise level. Let's put the flight director on, heading out, and autopilot, just so that we have a little bit more capacity here. So we'll set up power towards 22, 22. So 22 inches. Let's reduce the RPM as well. Here we go, and then we just gotta readjust our throttle. Here we go, 22, 22. Then let's go onto the engine page, lean assist. So we'll slowly start to reduce the mixture. We'll observe the EGT rise on the engine page, and it will tell us when it reaches the peak, which is around about here. Perfect. I'll just bring it to peak EGT. That's all I need for this one. Alright, so the bridges are coming up over there, and that's indeed exactly where we are headed. So let's go ahead and have a very quick look into the departure chart, courtesy of the German air traffic control services. They are available online, which is something that I do really appreciate. It did take a little court case to get them there, but here we go. That's what it looks like in the public VFR online. Just Google Germany VFR AIP and you'll find them. Alright, so we departed over here and we're now heading northbound on that 355 track up to November. And as you can see, November is that railway bridge that you have right over here. And that is just over here. That's the railway bridge. In 2000, so that's all we'll need down here. Doesn't look like there's any traffic. The sun is about to go below the horizon, but the good thing is we will be on the ground long before that, since it's only some 10 minutes or so from this point onwards. But once the sun does set below the horizon, things are gonna go quick. Alright, so it's always a little bit hard to actually spot the terrestrial features when they're right below you, but what you can do is, and here's the railway, so naturally speaking, once we're above that, we are right above November. Sometimes they are a little bit picky in the real world here, but here you are, that's the railway bridge, with a superb 3D model, by the way. Delta Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel, overhead November, 2000 feet, request to leave.
Delta Foxtrot Hotel, cleared for takeoff, runway 05 right.
What?
After departure, proceed direct to November at 2000 feet or below.
Yeah, you said that. Delta Foxtrot Hotel, request to leave.
Delta Foxtrot Hotel, transponder VFR, remain below TMA, bye-bye.
Transponder VFR, remain below TMA. Bye-bye, Delta Foxtrot Hotel. Alright, so that's easy. We are on Squawk VFR anyway. Let's make a right-hand turn, about 020. The photogrammetry here just looks absolutely amazing, doesn't it? This is the harbor of Duisburg now, which is one of the largest harbors that are not directly located at the ocean in Europe. And just look at the level of detail down here. Absolutely amazing. They really stepped it up quite a bit. Except for that little vessel down there. But apart from them, they really stepped it up quite a bit, even over FS 2020. This is just phenomenal. Exactly like in the real world. The photogrammetry and the scenery here are just amazing. Just totally amazing. Alright, so while we're flying, let's go ahead and quickly update the FMS, even though we technically speaking don't need it. So Dinslaken direct to enter, 10 nautical miles to go. We're flying at 100 knots roughly, 96 knots, so that's 1.5 miles per minute, aka we need to call them 5 minutes before landing, so we got to call them in a moment already. So let's take a very quick look into the approach chart for our destination, which is Dinslaken Schwarze Heide, and once again, charts courtesy of the DFS Deutsche Flugsicherung. And this is what it looks like. So we can see the airfield is available in both English and German. Traffic pattern is in 1,200 feet. Southern traffic pattern over here, and over here is a little, well, factory, not 100% sure what the correct English word is, that you can use nicely in the downwind, and makes good make sure to stay clear of that lake down here and the large lake down here. And, well, when turning base, stay clear of that road. And there is one feature that you can see over here. I expect to be landing along runway 26. And over here you can see marked touchdown points for aircraft of less than 2,000 kilos. So that's around about where we'll aim to touch down, which makes it seem like you're coming in very high on approach, but that's just because of the displaced threshold, which is only marked with a couple of, rather insignificant features. Alright, but that's it. And one last thing, of course, that's going to be the actual frequency, which is 122075 for Dinslaken radio. Or 122705, that way around. So here we go, let's give him a call. Dinslaken radio, Delta Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel. And then let's already take it out of autopilot.
Delta Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel, Dinslaken Schwarza, hi to airport radio, hello.
Delta Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel, Diamond, DA40, 2 persons, VFR from Düsseldorf, 5 minutes south for landing.
Delta Foxtrot Hotel, QNH 1016, runway in use 26.
QNH 1016, runway 26, Delta Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel. So, Dinslaken is an uncontrolled airport. They do have someone sitting there operating radios, but they are not going to give you any actual clearance. So, up here is the first lake. So let's go down to pattern altitude, 1,200 feet. Nice and shallow descent here, 500 feet a minute. That's going to work just about superb. In the meantime, let's grab the checklist. So landing data is received, altimeters are set, comm nav FM is set, seatbelts fastened, adjustable back rates upright, fuel selector. Let's go ahead and change that over. So pump coming on, right tank, and it keeps running, so pump is going back off again. Alright, and that's the descent approach check complete. Next is going to be the after landing check. So over there we can see the airport light, the rotating light. Scenery is just so incredibly beautiful in this sim. Of course, the entire area we're flying over is photogrammetry as well, so that just makes it look that bit better. But this is just superb, isn't it? Absolutely stunning. Really, absolutely stunning. Alright, so there are the 2 lakes that we saw on the approach chart. There is a third one that we also saw right beneath the final. So the downwind takes us to the right over here across that field, and then we'll have that little, well, factory thingy right over here. That's where we're going to steer towards on our downwind. So let's maintain pattern altitude here, and then let's start reducing our power. 18 inches I think is going to work rather well. We'll keep the RPMs where they are. Mixture is going to go full rich, fuel pump on, and the landing lights and taxi lights on. Field is already inside, right over here. Okay, that's the height is to the right hand side. Very nice area to ride your bike around. Really worth it. Okay, now we gotta see something. That's the little factory. And once we're clear of that lake over here, then we can turn downwind. Delta Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel, joining downwind runway 26.
Delta Foxtrot Hotel, roger.
Okay, so flaps takeoff. So, where's the factory? I think we're headed right above it. And here's the road, prior to which we're going to turn into the base leg. Right, there's our runway. So, flaps landing. And here we go, right over the factory. Delta Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel, turning base. So let's see, lights are on and fuel pump pitot is on. We're on the richest tank, landing flaps. That's our landing checks complete. So that's our runway, and roundabout here is where we have to touch down. That's why I said it might look a little bit high during the approach. That's completely normal. We have that displaced threshold. For noise abatement, because there is that little farmer down here and that farmer down here, and both of them seem to have very good lawyers. So let's maintain those 60 knots over here. The Puppy is not aligned for small aircraft, so it's completely normal that we get 4 whites on the Puppy here. Need to touch down around about here. So that's where we're aiming for. Delta Foxtrot Hotel joining final runway 26.
Delta Foxtrot Hotel, wind 310 at Niner.
Roger. Alright, beautiful landing. Delta Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel, runway vacated, taxiing to parking. Bye bye. Alrighty. So let's just stop the timer here for
Delta
our flight
Foxtrot
land.
Hotel, roger, thank you.
Okay, so after landing checks. Flaps. Up, pitot heat, off electric fuel pump, off alternate air is closed, and landing and taxi lights. We'll keep the taxi light here since it's slowly getting dark. And that's it. Drops should have been full forward. That's fine though. Alright, and with that, welcome to Dinslaken. I just recently bought the scenery from Marketplace. It's definitely not very high fidelity, but as a local compared to the default airport, this is actually quite a nice thing to see. Just, you know, the gas station looks correct, the home of the flying clubs here looks correct, the hangars look correct. A little bit on the expensive side there at like 19 euros or something, but overall much better than not to have anything at all. So you keep rolling, please. And then let's take it around the turn. Come on. Keep rolling. Damn it, took it a little bit too close to the hangar. In the real world it's easier to judge distances. I'll take that as my defense. Alright, so landing taxi lights are now off as well. So parking check. Parking brake is set. Engine instruments are checked, nothing out of the norm. MFD is on engine. Total time in service is 1.6, that's noted. ELT is not activated. Avionic master off. Then electrical consumers except the strobe light are all off. Okay, so throttle for 1000 RPMs. So, ignition, grounding check is done, mixture. Idle cutoff. Ignition off, ACL off, interior lights are off, start key. Well, I wish we could remove that, that would be a nice feature. And then electrical master off, and that's the parking check completed. Well, and here we are. Gotta buy a little new wingtip. Let's see how worse it actually is. In the real world, it's just so much easier to judge distances. Okay. Yeah, it's just a wingtip. Here, very nice. Just remove the screws, detach that, put a new one on. Problem solved. Well, my friends, and that's all I can offer you today. I do hope you enjoyed this one. Leave your feedback in the comments underneath. In the meantime, a little bit feedback from my side here in regards to how SayIntentions performed for a VFR flight. Obviously, it wasn't 100% perfect, but I think it was actually pretty nice. On a level that, you know, with an inexperienced VATSIM controller you might find on VATSIM as well. Definitely a huge lot of fun to fly. Few things here like runway 5 left versus runway 5 right for the departure, and then of course they should have handed you over to tower prior to the runway crossing. Ground would only give you that when the crossing runway is closed or when they have coordinated. That happens as well. Happened quite a bit during the time when I was based in Cologne airport. Over there, when you taxi to runway nowadays 31 right, when you had to cross runway 24, then the controllers are sitting next to one another. If it's not too busy, they would just coordinate that, and then the ground controller gives you crossing clearance as well. So that is kind of realistic and okay, therefore. Well, and apart from that, of course, once you're in the air and reporting that reporting point November, then they shouldn't just say transponder VFR, stay clear of the TMA. They should say squawk VFR, leaving frequency approved. That would be the 100% correct phraseology, and naturally all of that feedback is also given to SayIntentions directly so that they can update this. In the meantime, I do hope you guys enjoyed the flight. Be sure to leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video, as I'm really looking forward to that. I really had fun doing this, well, for me, classical flight, since I've flown that a lot in the real world, usually from Dinslaken over to Düsseldorf, do a low approach over there, then come back, because the landing and handling fees in Düsseldorf for an airplane like this are easily 100 euros. So you gotta know if you want to pay that or not. As long as you don't touch the runway, you don't pay anything. So go there, do a low approach, come back, and I just really had a good load of fun doing that for quite a couple of years while I built my hours to do the commercial license thereafter. Well, my friends, and that's what I can offer you today. I do hope you all enjoyed this one. Be sure to leave your feedback in the comments underneath. If you're interested in SayIntentions, use the affiliate link in the video description and in the pinned comment, as that's also going to support my channel and not just going to give you a very good add-on. But with that out of the way, thank you very much for watching. As always, like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.